Hello and welcome back to this best of 9 between VVV Gaming and Team PewPew. In the last game, we saw Nazgul, the mighty Ringwraith, laid low by 6 Zerglings and a drone that built a hatchery in Nazgul's base. It was quite unfortunate. So VVV has thrown out Wakai. In the past I called him Wakai, but apparently it's more along the lines of Wakai. But I'm really not sure because I saw like 4 different people spell it to me phonetically in 7 different ways. So I really have no idea, so I'm just going to call him Kai. And really that's easier because as a caster, you want to say words that have as few syllables as possible, because less syllables is beneficial to communicating what you are trying to speak to your audience in the most efficient way possible. And I just constructed that sentence as the opposite of that for purposes of irony and illustrating what I was talking about. And there's that one guy there who's like an English major who was both wincing and laughing at the same time as I was doing that. But anyways, so Proficient, going to be the opponent once again because he won in the last game. And if you're not familiar with Team League setups, it's a all-kill format. Basically, if, you know, your 2 teams send out 2 players, right, or a player each, and then whoever wins that match keeps playing until either they win 5 games or they are defeated, and then once they're defeated, a new player goes in. And it's a really neat way of doing things because quite often pro-level teams will train snipers on their squad. So, for example, if they are going to go up against, say, Team Prime next, they will have one of their players trained specifically and how to beat a Terran, specifically Marine King Prime, because any team that goes up against Prime is going to be worried about MKP, right? You know, and you can have these very cool strategic ways of doing things. And one thing I've even heard, where I'm not sure of the explanation of it, but I heard it, is that apparently a lot of teams will send a Protoss first, because Protoss are just good for, like, scouting out the enemy team. I don't know if that's actually true, but I heard that, okay? Anyways, Kai going for a 1-rack gasless FE. Pretty typical. Pretty safe, I would argue. We'll get a bunker down here in the very near future, and that will, of course, keep him safe against whatever Proficient may try to throw at him. Proficient went for a hatch first, spawning pool after, because if you build a hatchery first, spawning pools will usually be built afterwards. Yeah. Anyways. So, and Kai just... Oh, that's an interesting place for a bunker. I'm really interested in the logic behind this. Like, I'm sure there's a reason for this. Okay, it could be that he doesn't want to have to try to wall this entire ramp. And maybe the idea is... I'm not sure. This feels like a really odd place for it, because it'll protect the ramp, which is awesome and cool. And this is certainly good to have as a fallback if, say, your front line gets broken. But if you load this up, Zergling can sit here and hit your command center, and I'm pretty sure the Marines will not be in range of that. Interesting. I'll have to talk to him later and ask him why that was positioned as such. Kai hiding a single SCV there. And yeah, just so that way you can see that indeed Proficient's going to go up to 3 bases pretty quick. Not going to go for any kind of crazy 2-base all-in pressure aggression shenanigans. Okay, thinking about it a bit more, this actually makes more sense because you can always just unload the bunker, you know, have the Marines scoot forward here, and then they can shoot the Lings. And then if the Lings start to try to come around, you just scoot back into the bunker, right? And you can load, unload. I always tend to think of bunkers as very static, and I load my units into it, and I never unload them. So... yeah, that actually makes sense to me, in terms of defending against early Ling aggression. I would be surprised if he didn't eventually make a wall here, maybe with the barracks. That way it's nice and Baneling-proof. But, yeah, we'll see where he goes with that. So, going up to 2 gases right now. Already has 4 barracks down, so it's going to be a lot of early Marine production. Getting tech labs now. Stim, nowhere in... wow, that didn't work. I was going to say, like, nowhere near being seen. That didn't really work. Anyway, the stim won't be happening anytime soon. That's what I'm trying to say. Hear the words I'm saying, what I'm trying to communicate, alright? So, Proficient's going to scout with these Lings. Has he even scouted where his enemy is? Yes, he has. And that Ling gonna get shot to death by C-14 Gauss rifles. How sad. And this one also shot to death with Gauss rifles. So, Proficient does know this is up, thanks to that SCV. Don't know if it got killed or what. Looks like it did. But he knows it's there, and we'll have to see if he chooses to do some sort of aggression. I'm not sure what he would do at this point. He could potentially, like, make a bunker here or something. That'd be pretty aggressive. But, I don't know. For the moment, he seems content to just hold the watchtower, macro up, getting an NG base, so thinking a bit more long-term, getting those upgrades. Always a good thing to do. Oh, already has an NG base, so getting a second NG base, excuse me. And, yeah, so what is Proficient going for? Well, he's getting gases, because gas is good. Getting a macro hatch, and 2 Evo chambers, more gases, and a spine crawler. Okay, cool. Oh, wow, here comes a push. I'll talk about all that stuff later. So yeah, we're Kai pushing right as combat shield finishes, and this is a lot of Marines, and this is the power of the 1-rack fast expand. You get a lot of minerals very quickly, and even though these Marines don't have combat shields, they will deal quite a bit of damage. And even though there's a lot of Zerglings out, oh, okay, they're going to clean up all those Marines, then they're going to loop around, try to deal with these Marines. But Kai can pull his Marines back and just tuck them in there, unless he doesn't. So, this will fail. Oh, might get it. Oh, no. Wow, that's really close. I'm feeling pretty bad for Kai right now, but that said, while that did fail, he forced Proficient to build a ton of Zerglings. Wow, that was panic mode there. Proficient just went S and then just held down Z all day, man. Oh boy, that's a lot of Zerglings. So he's going to go for a counterattack now, but ooh, Kai could be in trouble here because these Lings have speed and he doesn't have a wall. Okay, well, he's going to set up as best he can. Single Ling going to come and scout, but Proficient might just go for it. I mean, there's a decent number of Marines there, but they do not have Stim. Stim is on the way, will be done before too much longer. 60 in-game second. But Proficient looks like he's just going to contain, or go for it. Going up to a 4th base. Okay, looks like he's going to fall back. Just darting around. Pretty typical. But yeah, he's going to go through a 4th base behind that. That said, though, Kai is getting another command center in base for the moment. But as soon as he feels safe, he will float that down here and start mining, and that will be excellent. Wow, Proficient really caught a break, though, I have to say, with that hatchery. 10 hit points. 10 hit points. Why wasn't I screaming at that point? I should have been, like, screaming and hollering. I'm like, oh my goodness! He's gonna get... Will he get it? Will he get 10 hit points? What the fuck? But I didn't. Sometimes I'm a little bit too mellow. I try hard to amp myself up, you know, because I really do find this exciting. But I'm not the sort of guy that shouts a lot. I'm really not. So I kind of have to work myself up to it a bit sometimes. But I will do my best because I want you to have a good viewing experience. So Kai has finished Stim. He has 1-1. That will, of course, make these Marines quite powerful. Proficient doesn't have any ground upgrades, but he's getting quite a few Banelings. Baneling speed is going to finish pretty soon. But how do Banelings hit units that are in flying units? The correct answer to this question is they don't. But it looks like Proficient knows what's up, though, swinging all of his Zerglings around, and yep, those Manvacs forced to fall back. I hope Kai doesn't just retreat. Sorry, Kai, I keep saying it wrong. I hope Kai doesn't just retreat with this. I would love to see him swing up here and at least take a stab at that. But it looks like that might be what he's doing. And Proficient. Wow, that's a lot of Zerglings. Yeah, what I was going to talk about earlier, actually, when I was observing how many gases there was that this macro hatch going up, to me, seemed indicative of heavy Ling play. Just because Lings are very larvae expensive, and you need an additional hatchery to really be able to produce them effectively. Yeah, so it does look like he's going for that, and also getting Mutalisk. So, going to be Ling Bling Muta. Kind of an older-ish school style. It's kind of style. It's been seeing a little bit of resurgence, I think. And it's one I like. I mean, this many Zerglings is really kind of terrifying to deal with. That said, though, Kai has managed to work up quite a few Marines, and with that upgrade advantage, he's going to be shredding these with that non-existent upgrade advantage. He might be able to go toe-to-toe with the Lynx. I'd love to see him drop some Marines up here, and then micro around this cliffside, basically forcing the Lynx to kind of chase after him, while the Marines on the high ground deal lots of damage. You know, I love it when I see players drop siege tanks there. Got some mutas swinging around. Manages to get all these Marines to stem. Don't think they got any SCVs. But at the very least, keeping Kai on his toes. And Kai has a pretty decent spread of units here. Got them spread out decently, so that way when the Banelings come, he won't lose 100% of everything instantly. But oh, here we go. Proficient with so much stuff. And the Marines getting absolutely murdered. Oh man, Kai losing so many units. Proficient's got to be feeling pretty good about himself at this point. This base here, very vulnerable, and here we go. Proficient surging forward with a bunch of Lings. Banelings rolling in, body checking all the Marines. They explode into piles of purple goo. And by purple goo, I mean green goo. Never mind. And yeah, here's the weakness of what Kai did. There's no wall. The Lings just get in there. They're killing SCVs like it's a holiday, and Kai is very much on the back foot. Might be able to hold this, but he's lost 30 SCVs, and Proficient still has these mutas here. Has he gotten any SCV kills on them? Doesn't look like it, but just the threat of that is, oh, you know, forcing Kai to leave 2 Marines there. And Proficient has to be feeling on top of the world right now, with a little bit of a bank, but he can kind of afford that at this point. He's very far ahead. Looks like Kai landed that orbital again. And going to try to force away these Zerglings. And, yeah, Proficient going to fall back. Penguin has left the game. Could be he lagged. The rules were you can have observers, but if you lag, you instantly leave. You know, and that's just out of courtesy for the other players, because, you know, lag can really interrupt a player's mojo. And Kai trying to push in again, but there's just so many Zerglings, and the mutas arrive to clean it up, and Proficient will be able to destroy this entire army, even without the Banelings. And oh no, these mutas are going to kill so many medevacs. Oh, but they're forced back by those Marines for just a second, but they can surge forward once again, and Kai is losing everything. He has managed to clean up the Lings though, so, but oh, here comes some Banelings. Oh. Oh, there go the Marines. And Kai trying his best, but can't quite hold up to the might of Proficient. Still trying, and Proficient actually being incredibly inefficient now, losing a lot of mutas. But oh no, there's a bunch of Marines on move command, and move command Marines not so effective against mutas. And Proficient takes yet another win for Team PewPew. They are now up 3-1. But, yeah, VVV still has a number of players they can throw out, so we'll see who they put in next and if they can bring it back. Join me for Game 5.